A lot of people think confident people were born that way, that they were born one day and the next day they woke up feeling confident. But that's not how it works, because confidence is built silently and it's a process. It is actually born even in habits that you don't even think of them when you're doing them, but in small habits that you're living out every day. Well, that's how I built my confidence. I built my confidence in a process where I was intentional in even changing the habits that I was doing every day. So today I want to share confidence habits that genuinely changed my life. From me being somebody who was ashamed of my condition and how I look like, to me being this girl who's able to record videos for you, interact online, speak in conferences, to me being this girl who interacts with customers in her business every single day. Now, the first habit is for you to stop narrating yourself negatively. When I was younger, I used to assume the worst when I walked into rooms. I used to assume people will judge, people will stare, people will react negatively. But the truth is that those were stories I was creating in my head. Those were stories that I was just forming up here. Once I stopped narrating negatively and waiting for the worst, I started to see that the stories I was forming up here were so bad, worse than what reality could ever be. So stop assuming the worst. And I want you to understand that the inner voice inside you, the inner voice, your inner critic, becomes the environment that you live in. Therefore, you must learn how to question it. Question if this is fear talking or if this is the truth. That is why I always say, ask for facts over assumption. Once I started doing this, asking my inner critic if this is fact or fear, I started to see my life improve. I started to stop assuming the worst and walk into rooms and expect to be received. And guess what? I got received in rooms, and that built my confidence. I'm able to walk into any room now. The second habit that built my confidence was showing up before I was ready. I stopped waiting to feel confident and say I'll take action when I'm confident, and I started to go in anyway. This is simply because I redefined confidence. I started to ask myself, but what is confidence? Then I started to realize that confidence comes as a result of trying. The more you try, the more confident you'll feel about something. So I started to say, you know what? I'm going to show up once, twice, thrice, because the more I do this, the more my confidence is going to come about. So my advice to you is to start showing up. Put yourself out there, because every time you do it, it gets better. If you can look at all the content creators out there, look at their first videos if they didn't delete them. Well, I have mine in my profile. Go to my Facebook, look at my old videos. You will notice that I wasn't even confident on camera. I wasn't even doing face-to-face videos like this. I was just doing voiceovers. But I took a step one day to do a face-to-face video, and my confidence skyrocketed. It skyrocketed. The more videos I did, the better I became. And next year, I'll look at these videos and I'll feel like they're bad. Why? Because I am just showing up right now. I'm at my best right now, but it's going to get better, because confidence just gets better when you try. Skill gets refined. So all the action that you do when you show up and you're not ready, you are simply building evidence. You are building a database of evidence, and you will use this to question your inner critic when you feel less confident. If you haven't watched my last video, I advise you to go watch it. It's loaded. Habit number 3 is for you to stop shrinking to make others comfortable. I had to learn this the slow, painful way. I used to shrink so that I'm not too confident, not too loud, not too visible. I had to shrink just to make sure everybody around me felt comfortable around me. I said this in my last video and explained an example of what happened when I was in my debate competition. So I was a debate student, and in debate, you ask each other questions. You poke holes into your opponent's story and you question their motive, their policy. And one day we were at a competition and I asked 1, 2, 3 questions, and the other boy said, no, this girl is going to be asking all the questions now. Why can't she give others a chance to breathe? And that made me feel so bad. In the next match, I shrank and we lost. And you know what? Ever since then, I then learned that no, I don't have to shrink. I don't have to make others feel comfortable at the expense of my own wins. So here's an important lesson I want you to understand about shrinking. When you shrink, you're not protecting yourself. When you shrink, you are teaching the world how to treat you. You are teaching the world to give you an identity of a small person. So when I stopped shrinking, I started being bold, and the world started knowing that I'm here to stay. I'm here to lead. I'm here to show up. I'm here to win. So when I stopped shrinking, my confidence skyrocketed. So do not shrink to accommodate anyone. And the fourth confidence hack is that I speak to myself the way I would want another person to speak to me. I speak kindly to myself, and I speak kindly of myself, meaning that the way I talk to myself, I wouldn't talk like that to a child. I always ask myself, would I say this to a child? No. So why would I say it to myself? I have learned that there is only one person who will always be with me, who will always be in my corner, and that person is me, myself, and I. This person will never leave me. So I better be kind to this person, I better treat her gently, and I better show up for her. So this increased my confidence because I spoke highly of myself, I spoke kindly to myself, and other people kind of responded to that energy. Other people knew that I give compliments to myself. I applaud myself. When you say I'm doing well, I don't become humble and say we are trying. I say, oh yes, I put a lot of hard work towards that. I'm proud of myself. So people responded to that energy, and it has skyrocketed my confidence time and time again. Now, the final habit that I adopted was building something bigger than my fear. I built a business. I've been building businesses since I was 16. My first business was a tutorial business. I was tutoring little students about math, science, because I'm brilliant, You see, I speak of myself highly. I speak of myself beautifully. So that was my first business. So when I moved to the UK, it was a different thing. I closed my business in Africa, moved to the UK. When I got here, I worked. And girl, did that go well? That didn't go well because I've never been somebody who loved working. I love business. I love entrepreneurship. I love sales, and I'm so good at it. So I decided to build something bigger than my fear. I built a business. I built my skincare business. I built my jewelry business. I wanted to build something that is bigger than me fearing to belong, me fearing a new country, me fearing a new continent. I decided to go out there, dare to dream, research, do all the necessary steps that I needed to open my business. And I opened my business, and that increased my confidence. That means I can get into any room and state my case, sell whatever I sell. And you won't believe the amount of connections and how much it has enriched my cycle as a whole. Because when you live your life governed by fear, you stay small. When you go out there and dare to dream and dare to build, you grow bigger and your confidence grows. Remember, confidence is trying. So go out there, implement those habits, copy them, do them, and try. If this video resonated with you, I want you to tell me in the comments below, what do you fear the most and how are we going to overcome it using these habits? Bye, bestie!